Hello, my friends. I hope you're doing well today. I was headed out the door, and all of a sudden, this thought hit me that I wanted to sit down and share a champion mindset that just came to me as I was reading the story of somebody I know who is an absolute beauty queen. She actually is a beauty queen who found out that she has breast cancer and needs a double mastectomy. And I thought about the mindset that she has adopted to go through this process to healing. And she's chosen one to be one of inspiration and courage and strength. And I sent her a note and I said, "You're going to get through this, and you're a champion overcomer. And you can choose right now to be healed and whole and strong." And it reminded me of the way champions differ from other people is that they have emotional mastery. And emotional mastery means that I choose ahead of time how I will go through something. A lot of times, our emotions are a result of reacting to situations and circumstances. And I began to see in my own life, as well as in my sport, that the emotion of peak performance, both in sport on the field as well as in life, is the emotion of calm concentration. And there are so many emotions that disrupt calm concentration. Just think about when you're in flow. You're really not conscious of time. You are in a place of calm and you're focused and you're producing because you're in calm concentration. And I always used to think that calm produces focus, but actually focus produces calm. Think about when you're really focused, you are calm. And there's so many emotions that disrupt that. Fear, anxiety, doubt, I would even say intimidation, inadequacy. That's not exactly an emotion, but it's attached to one because our thoughts produce our emotions. But champions decide ahead of time how they're going to go through something. And I remember years ago when my life crashed and I had to figure out how I was going to get through that. I remember getting away. I was living in Florida at the time, and I said, I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to clear my head. And it was at that place of freedom, because I was at the ocean, that I was able to look at my road ahead. And I said, I'm going to make some decisions. There's a lot of things I don't know, but one thing I do know, I can choose my emotional state in which I'm going to go through this. And I chose not to fear. I just made a decision that even though the road ahead of me was going to be challenging, there were a lot of unknowns, I was going to be rebuilding, that I would not fear going through it. And little did I know that that decision and the way I went through that journey also prepared me for the COVID season, because the moment that that happened, I immediately said to myself, I'm not going through fear. I will not go through this season in fear. In fact, and I will not retreat. I am going to advance. It just came flying out my mouth. And I didn't even know how it was going to happen. But I said, I am going to advance. And during that season, I had to take a job to produce some additional revenue, because if you're in golf, like that's the first thing that goes, right? And I ended up working in a golf shop that I did like 40 years ago. I honestly didn't like it, but I did it. And it was through that little job that I met my highest paying client that month for the whole year. But I made a decision of what my emotional state would be. And so this year, my spiritual growth, my emotional growth, January 1st, I decided whatever happens this year, I'm not going to worry. Just not going to worry about it. And I can't begin to tell you how much energy, how much actual physical energy that one decision has made. It doesn't change the reality of anything. I just chose not to worry. So I want to encourage you to adopt a champion mindset, one of calm concentration and making a decision of what kind of emotions you're going to go through and what kind you're not. And maybe you're starting something new, a new adventure, a new relationship, a new job, a new journey where it's positive, but there are many unknowns. You can choose, just like my friend who's going through that major health challenge, the emotions and the mindset that you'll go through with that thing. So I just want to encourage you today to choose the champion mindset of having emotional mastery. By the way, one of my all-time heroes, Dr. James Lower, sets out a grid of peak performance. And it's an emotional grid of 4 quadrants: high positive, low positive, high negative, low negative, of where peak performance happens. And peak performance happens only in a high positive state. It doesn't happen in anger. It doesn't happen in burnout. It doesn't happen in just being, serene and chill. It happens when you're in a positive, challenged, joyful, connected state. And you can choose those things. I chose many years ago to live in joy, because joy is the highest emotional vibration there is. You think about when someone hits a shot, that you never hit before, all of a sudden, they burst out in joy. And you can choose to be in that state. So be a champion today.